Hello, class. Welcome back. I'm excited about today because you are going to learn about what Lewis and Clark did when it got to winter time and some people they met during winter. Are you ready to hear the next part of our adventures of Lewis and Clark? Let's do it. As autumn approached, Lewis and Clark were in a hurry. They knew the Rocky Mountains lay ahead, and they hoped to spend the winter there among the Mandan and Hidatsa. However, it was already so cold that the river was freezing into ice, and when the river froze, it was impossible to travel up the river in their boats. Where the Knife River flows into the Missouri, Lewis and Clark found 5 villages of Hidatsa and Mandan Native Americans. Like other Native Americans living on the plains, these people hunted bison, also known as buffalo, from horseback. They also lived in permanent earth lodges and farmed the land around their homes. So this means that they had shelters that they did not move, unlike nomads who moved their shelters with them. 4 or 5 families shared each lodge, and even the horses spent bad weather days inside, in a roped-off space just inside the entrance. The Mandans especially welcomed the travelers from the east because they were used to visitors. Other Native American tribes and trappers came to the Mandan area to share news and to buy and sell furs from beavers, bear, elk, or bison. Across the river from one of the Mandan villages, the explorers built a wooden house and surrounded it with log walls 18 feet high for protection. They made the high log walls to keep them safe. The men of the Corps of Discovery called their winter home Fort Mandan, named after the Mandan Native Americans. They dragged the pirogues onto the riverbank, but before they could move the keelboat, the river froze around it. It took 3 weeks to chop the keelboat out of the ice. They had other worries too, Lewis told Clark. "We are eating so much food that we will run out before the winter is over, and in this terrible weather, it is getting harder to hunt." Thankfully, the Mandans appeared one day to tell them, "We have found a herd of bison nearby. Come hunting with us. We have brought horses for you to ride." The result was more food and warm blankets made from their hides. As the winter nights grew long and temperatures plunged to 30, even 40 degrees below zero, the explorers also traded with the Mandan for food. In return for the food the Mandan gave them, Lewis and Clark acted as doctors for members of the tribes who were sick or injured, and several of the explorers were skilled as blacksmiths, made iron tools, axes, and arrowheads for the Mandans. The party spent many cold nights asking the Hidatsas and the Mandans about the country that lay ahead. Lewis and Clark kept all the information they learned in a journal. Then one day, a French-Canadian trader appeared at the gates of Fort Mandan. He announced, "I am Toussaint Charbonneau. I heard about you from the Hidatsas. I am an excellent cook, and I speak English, French, and several Native American languages. I could cook for you and translate what is said in other languages into English." Charbonneau had not come alone. With him was his very pregnant wife, a young Native American woman named Sacagawea. Sacagawea was a member of the Shoshone tribe who lived farther along the Missouri River. The Shoshone were the next tribe that Lewis and Clark expected to meet. Lewis and Clark discussed Charbonneau's offer. "Sacagawea could be helpful when we reach the lands of the Shoshone. She could show the Shoshone that we come as friends, and she knows a lot about the countryside there. As for Charbonneau, if he is the cook he claims to be, he will be a welcome addition to our party." Lewis told Charbonneau, "We want you and your wife to join us, and of course, we will pay you for your work." This turned out to be one of the best decisions the co-captains ever made, and while they had agreed to hire 2 new members for their expedition, they soon had 3. One, 'cause she had a baby. One cold night, Sacagawea gave birth to a little boy. Charbonneau, the new father, looked proudly at his newborn son and said, "We shall call you Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau." William Clark laughed. "That's an awfully big name for such a little fellow to carry. I'll call him Pompey." Pompey proved to be a good little traveler, too. Lewis and Clark organized their notes and drawings and labeled samples of plants and animals they had gathered. When spring came, Clark announced, "We have decided to split the party into 2 groups. We will send some of you back east to take President Jefferson the things we have collected and written. The rest of us will continue west." Remember, there were no telephones and no email yet, and there was no way to send mail to the Louisiana Territory. Lewis and Clark sent some of the Corps of Discovery to tell Jefferson of their progress and what they had found so far. On April 7th, 1805, some of the party returned back east as planned. They carried with them 4 boxes and a trunk filled with plant and rock samples, as well as the captain's journals and drawings. They also took with them some living animals, such as a magpie and a prairie dog. Lewis told Clark, "I wish I could see President Jefferson's face when that magpie starts chattering away. The president will be mighty pleased, and he will be delighted with all the information in our journals and drawings." Clark replied, "He will be even happier when you and I report to him in person that we have reached the Pacific." Then the 2 men started westward once more with the remaining men, 1 woman, Sacagawea, and a baby, Pompey. Wasn't that an awesome little story? They met Sacagawea. So I have a book that I'm going to read you guys another time called Sacagawea, and it gives you more information about her because she was a pretty neat person. But for today, in your core folder, if you look inside, you'll see that you have a 2-sided worksheet, one with a map that just tells where they started here in St. Louis and how they made it all the way over to the Pacific Ocean, which we'll still be hearing about. And I would like you to draw some of the things they found and that when they broke into 2 groups, some of the things that they were taken back to the president. Some are Lewis and Clark. Oh wait, I just told you wrong. It wants you to draw how they're traveling. So how they're traveling down the river, crossing the Rocky Mountains, and viewing the Pacific for the first time. So that's what you're supposed to draw. I think I'm thinking of something else for that drawing, some other worksheet that we did last year. All right, and then on the back, I know you guys love word searches, so do your word search. And one of the words is Sacagawea. Where could that one be? You guys got a lot of words to find. If you'd like to keep going, you can write your words in ABC order or alphabetical order. And then you can write a sentence using some of the words above. Those are some fun things for you to do after you're done hearing our lesson today. Have a great time, and I will see you tomorrow. And oh my goodness, I don't know why my accent keeps going in and out, but tomorrow I'll try to do a better job. Bye, guys.